Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Recording in progress.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for joining Stocks Never Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. It is 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, October 16. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate your time. Yesterday was a fun session. What we did yesterday was we reviewed the entire markets for the week. We went through all of the news Monday to Friday. We talked about all of the earnings, pre-market and after hours. This week, there's some big names, guys, some big names. Today was Morgan Stanley, big bank. We have, I believe it was Thursday after hours, Netflix is reporting. So there's some big names in the market. I need you guys to pay attention to those names. Whether you're trading that security or you're trading that specific index, you still need to pay attention to when the big names are reporting. Okay, it's good for your education, but it's good to get a good understanding of how the markets could be moving and will help with your overall analysis. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that today. And then what we've been doing on these Tokyo sessions as of late is we're looking for some 4-hour setups. And we're going to talk about our setups that we were looking at on gold and NASDAQ last night. And we'll see if any of them played out. We'll see if any of them activated. We'll see right now if it's moving away from the setup. Now what we can do is we need to review where the volume is trading at right now. Like specifically when I'm talking about gold, now gold is trading at the all-time high supply. So what I'm going to do is readjust the sell setup. I'm still looking for a possible sell opportunity for a good swing trade, but now we just have to look at our levels, see where the volume is trading at right now, and then see what we can fix up. And we'll do the same thing for NASDAQ, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so before we get started, thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate all of you guys. Welcome everyone on Zoom. Erica, thank you for joining. Chris, welcome. Thanks guys. Junger, welcome. Sally, thank you for joining. Armand, welcome brother, welcome. And you guys on YouTube, as always, thanks for joining. Disappointed, welcome. Armand, welcome. Tony Gold, thank you for joining, brother. I appreciate you. Dawid, thank you for joining. I appreciate you too. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Frank, what's going on, brother? Thank you. Sorry, disappointed. I'm just reading. Can you contact me on Instagram? Yeah, I wrote the Instagram there. It's sniper Ronnie _FX. Oh, you did message me. Oh, my apologies. I thought you said, can I message you? Let me just see here what you wrote. This is you, Ahmed. Hello, Ron. Please speak about aggressive entries for scalping. Okay, if you if you like aggressive entries for scalping, I'm probably I'm probably your guy to help you with that. But we've done a lot of webinars on sniper entries. I'll do a call specifically like to help you with that. We do more of this on the New York sessions where we're on the lower time frames. What I'll do next week for you is when we go back to New York is we'll do a 1-minute education where you'll learn sniper entries, very aggressive entries, but it's going to be education, okay, in a live environment. So Ahmed, what I would recommend for you is have a demo account ready for when we go back to New York, and then we'll bring it down to the 1 minutes, and I'll show you a real aggressive entries. On the 1 minutes, we're looking for 10 to 15 to 20 pips with minimal to zero drawdown. Okay, and that's what we'll teach in New York when the volume is cooperating. But if that's what you're looking for, that's my style of trading. I definitely can help you with that. But it's you have to be very disciplined with that style of trading. It's you gotta have the scalper's mindset. Okay, so we'll help you with all of that. But yeah, I love it. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you guys. Okay, Aaron, yeah, you love when we do the live 1 minute trading. I think I'm gonna get back to it, but now I want everyone's mindset to be better. So then, when we're flip flopping from 4 hour to the 5 minutes to the 1 minutes, everyone knows how we have to adjust our mindset, and we got to trade differently. But believe me, you guys just stick with us, and I have a whole program coming out that will explain everything in detail. Okay. It's coming slowly. But right now, tomorrow, join us on tomorrow's webinar where we're going to learn everything about the history of price action and what is price action. So, Ahmed, this is perfect for you because you're asking about aggressive entries and sniper entries. Then we have to learn about price action. So you're in the best spot to learn now because we're going to learn all about the history, and then get it down to where it is right now in trading with today's technology. Okay, so lots of exciting things coming forward. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about Forex Factory news this morning. What did we have? We had, if you were trading in London session, you had your British CPI year over year. The actual number 1.7%. Came out red. So if you were trading anything to do with the euro, the pound, DAX, pre-London and London, you maybe saw a little bit of volatility. If you join Shahab over here in Live London with us, he'll navigate you through the London markets. Shout outs to Shahab. He's recovering from surgery, but he's back, so he's doing well. Okay, guys, and he'll help you guys look for some pips in the London markets. And then we moved into the North American markets. Very, very slow, light today. Light. No, there was no high impact news. So it wasn't very volatile this morning. We moved tonight. So guys, if this might be at the end of the call, if you guys are trading later on, 8:30, 90 minutes from now, if you guys are looking at the Australian dollar, AUD, you have the red folder employment change and their unemployment rate from 4.2%, to they're forecasting 4.2%. So we'll see if it's actual greater or less than, or equal here. But if you are trading the Australian dollar, be aware in 90 minutes when you're trading, it could get very volatile at this time. Okay, so let's move into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, like as we said this entire week, Thursday is a very busy day. Thursday, look at all of the news. Okay, and it starts early in London, over here. Then we move into 5 a.m. So this is 6 a.m. is pre-New York. You still have some European news here. And then we get into over here. So you see the big, all of these red folders. So it starts at 8:15 a.m. You have some European red folders. So again, if you're trading the pound, if you're trading the euro, if you're still trading DAX, which is the German stock exchange, be aware that you have the European main refinancing rate and the monetary policy statement, red folders. And then 5 minutes later, you have COMEX, the commodities exchange, open up at 8:20 a.m. Eastern. Then we move into 8:30. And this is where you get your North American red folders and US. We don't look at the Canadian news. We look at the American news over here. We have core retail sales month over month. We have our retail sales. So you guys understand the word core, what it means. When I'm talking about core retail sales, we're talking about the change in total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. So the automobile sales are not included in the core retail sales. Then they release another folder right here at the same time. This is retail sales, and it's not anything to do with core. So this one will include the automobile sales and give us a number. The previous numbers in the forecast are out, and we'll see the actual numbers tomorrow morning. Also, the unemployment claims. These are weekly claims that come out every Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Last week's numbers, the actual numbers were 258,000. Meaning that 258,000 individuals in the US were seeking employment. They couldn't find jobs, so they were at the unemployment lines. That's not good for the US dollar. And the forecast for this week, week over week, from last Thursday to this Thursday, tomorrow morning, is 241,000. So it's 27,000 less than last week. So it will see the actual number that comes out. If it's around this number, 240, it'll come out green. and that is seen to be good for the US dollar because less individuals are seeking unemployment claims. So they probably found some work in the week, and so that will strengthen the US dollar. But remember, these are just weekly claims. It's not like our non-farm payroll, which is the first Friday of every month. So these are weekly claims. And then you have your Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, and then we get out of the 830 big red folder. So I can tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of volatility tomorrow morning at 8:30. Please be careful when you're trading. This is where you have to monitor your risk. You can't. This is not a casino, okay? So this is a business. You got to treat it like a business. You can't be gambling here. You gotta really allocate the proper amount of risk. You have to look at your weekly goals. You got to look at your daily goals. Have you exceeded, and how much are you willing to risk? You don't want to like double down here. This is not playing blackjack. You don't. If you had an amazing day today, you don't go double down tomorrow on news. Okay, that's just silly way of trading, and I see a lot of you guys are trading like that, and we need to stop trading like that. Okay, we've been saying this for years, guys. We need to stop and move away from that style of trading. It won't you won't make it long term. If you want to trade for multiple years. And then 8:45, you have your ECB press conference. So this is the England Central Bank press conference. So you can see anything to do with the euro and the pound tomorrow is throughout the entire day. You have to be very careful trading that. Okay. Also, crude oil inventories after Wall Street opens at 9:30 at 11 a.m. Eastern. We have our crude oil inventories. If you're trading U.S. oil, keep an eye on this. Okay, from last week we had 5.8 million barrels and forecasting 1.8 million. So this is a significant decrease from the previous number. Why do traders care? Because this affects supply and demand. So a change in number of barrels of crude oil held in inventory by commercial firms during the past week. If you're driving by your gas pumps, do you see the price of gas going down, or do you see the price of gas going up? It went up 20 cents overnight last night. It was 140 when I went to sleep, and then I woke up this morning and it was $1.60. It went up 20 cents overnight here in Canada. So we'll see the actual supply and demand of the barrels of crude. So if you are trading this, pay attention to this. Also notes, while this is a US indicator, it mostly affects the loonie due to Canada's sizable energy sector. So I live in Canada, so I pay attention to this. The Canadian dollar is backed by crude oil, about 30-40% of it. Okay, so that's our news for tomorrow. Earnings, guys. We had some earnings this morning. This was a big one. Anybody pay attention to Morgan Stanley? I mentioned it last night call. Pay attention to Morgan Stanley at 7:30 a.m. Last week we started with all of the financials banks reporting. We had big banks, Bank of America, BAC. We had BlackRock. We had Citibank. We had big JP Morgan. Here's Morgan Stanley, like some big names. Schwab, Charles Schwab, like these are big names, and they've all been 2 or 3xing their revenue. It's been crazy what they're doing. Okay, and this will affect Dow Jones. Like if you're trading Dow is financials and industrials. So we'll talk a little bit about that and how Dow is trading compared to NASDAQ and things like that. So I trade Dow Jones on a regular basis, on a daily basis. So I really pay attention to the financials and the industrials. And look at Morgan Stanley. Their estimates were $1.57 earnings per share EPS, and they reported $1.88. Look at the revenue beat over here. They were estimated to make 14.36 billion since the last quarter. Look at their report, 27.37 billion. That is like, this is crazy. That's a 2x beat from the analysts with what their estimates were. Growth 11.3%, surprise 20%. Like this is really this is crazy. Like, I haven't seen earnings like this from finance in a long time. Um, so we had more. You had then U.S. Bancorp, you had Citizens Financial, you had Synchrony Financial, First Horizon National Corp, OFG Bancorp, First Community. So you have your big names, the big names that you're familiar with. They're the big boy stocks. They're the blue chips. They're the big boards. And then you got your smaller regionals. They're reporting too, and a lot of them are in the green as well. This is different from a couple years ago where a lot of the regionals fell off and they were collapsing, but they all kind of got consolidated with the big banks and kept chugging along. So this is a big difference from like a couple years ago where the regionals were falling apart and they were dying. They were declaring bankruptcy, and now look at the recovery. It's fantastic over here for big banks. So good. Let the banks make some money, and then we can take some of their money from them. That's the way I look at it. Let their pockets get deeper, and then we can eat off of them. We'll eat the crumbs, what they leave behind. Let's continue going. We had some after hours. So after hours right now, again, Kinder Morgan, Alcoa, not some big names. Let's move into tomorrow pre-market. This one, guys, pay attention to this. 2 a.m. Eastern, okay? This is TSM. This is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. If you're interested in tech, if you're interested in Nasdaq, you want to follow the chips. Okay, the like Nvidia, that's a big player. We had a few names yesterday, but this is a big one. TSM. Okay, so pay attention to this. I know it's at a shitty time. It's 2 a.m. Eastern. A lot of you guys are sleeping at this time. But just when you get up pre-market, when you do your New York analysis, make sure to just double check what TSM did over here. Their earnings are $1.74 per share. And revenue 22.72 billion. This could really dictate, if they have really green numbers, how Nasdaq could move pre-market, how Nvidia could move, and how the chips could ultimately move tomorrow. If this is a disappointing number, then Nasdaq might take a little bit of a hit tomorrow, but we'll see what and not just the numbers. Also, if you can listen to forward guidance, if you can listen to the conference call, if you can, a lot of that is what investors are waiting to hear. Not so much the numbers, but they're listening for forward guidance and what they have projected to go into the next quarter, for the next 3 months, because maybe they want to position themselves. Maybe they're in profit right now, might see some selling, some profit taking, but they could also announce something like Nvidia was talking about the Blackwell chips and the processors, and how they can't keep up with demand. So we'll see how that is. And I'm going to talk a little bit about like Nvidia and the tech sector rotation, how maybe some of that went into finance and industrials. So we'll talk a little bit about that as soon as we're done here. So that's pre-market, guys. I know it's at an unusual time, 2 a.m. Eastern, but remember, this is Taiwan, so this is around across the world, so this is their time. But for us over here in North America, it sucks. But that's the sacrifices you got to make as a trader. Some of those nights you're going to have to get up if you really want to take this game serious. What else do we have? Tomorrow afternoon after hours. Okay, I'm sure 99.9% of all of you guys on this call have heard of Netflix. Okay, this is a big name. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern. So Wall Street trades from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Right as soon as Wall Street closes, you might see some fireworks over here, depending on what you're trading. If you're trading Nasdaq, if you're trading an S&P, you might see some volatile moves. If you're trading Netflix, the security alone, if you own shares of the company, or you're trading it through options, expect some type of implied volatility here. You have them reporting $5.09 earnings per share and almost $10 billion of revenue since last quarter. Any of you guys pay attention to Netflix? Is it any good? Do they have anything good coming down the pipeline. What's going on with their subscriptions? I've heard lately that they're losing a lot of subscribers. They've increased it used to be $9.99 a month. It went up $12.99. It's $16.99 a month last time I checked, and they're not showing the greatest of shows. I don't know. I don't watch Netflix too much. I'm too involved in the markets to even pay attention to what's going on in Netflix, but maybe some of you guys do. We'll see their numbers coming out here. Okay, so that's the big name I would pay attention to tomorrow. And it could dictate the way how we move in Tokyo and going into Friday morning. Okay guys, so that's earnings. We're all good on that. We sent out a few trade ideas today. Just want to speak about this one. Sell on NASDAQ today, early Wall Street. We were looking for sells below 20,210, and you can see when we got a nice 15-minute body that closed right here at 9 a.m. and then the pullback going into Wall Street, then Wall Street kind of confirmed the move. So when it came up, we came back down, and then here's the big move dropping down. Okay, so that was NASDAQ. Pay attention to that area. Dropped for over 100 pips, 130. Commodities, there was a setup here to look for buying gold. This is around here 7:30 a.m. These are 5-minute candles. Notice the difference now. This is 5 minutes. Okay, we're looking for a 5-minute bar to close above 2,675. Looking for gold buys, and we get our first bar right here around 7:15 a.m. Eastern this morning that closed above. Again, look for 50% of that bar. Everything we teach here. There was your first pullback, red, right into 50% of the body. So you had the confirmation of the first bullish candle closing with green volume above 26.75, and you also had the inside bar pull back to 50%. You could have taken a buy on that candle or your ignited bar. If you're waiting for a pullback all the way back down to 26.75, the only pullback we got was 26.77. It was off by $2, 20 pips. So if you were waiting patiently in there, but again, figure out a zone. I can see those two wicks right there. I would have made a green box from that top of the wick to the bottom of that wick. I still get about 50% of that bullish candle that closed above, stretch it across, and you maybe could have been tapped in there with a pending order or market execution if you waited patiently down there to grab it. But you see, it made a higher high, higher low, trying to break through this resistance right here at 26.83 right over here, and it continued to push for a nice little move. I know some of you guys took advantage of that. If you guys did, well done. And continue learning from these trade setups. Okay, they're also, even if you're not taking them, there's still a learning process. You're going to figure out patiently waiting for volume to close above or below. You're looking for maybe a retest candle. You're trying to avoid impulse candles. All of these things that we talk about. And also we sent something out on Forex. So this was a long GBP USD early in the morning. I'm just showing you how it played out over here. So these candles now are looking more for swing trade, maybe 1H. So these are 1H. They're not 5, they're not 15. We're looking for buys above 1.3120, and when we get some nice 1 hour volume, you see how it's really consolidating. We got our first bar that closed above, small pullbacks, lack of volume, then it started to move a little bit, but it's fighting all of this resistance. We'll see how this continues to move with all of our news that we have coming in Europe. Maybe we'll see a nice move on the pound moving up, and that's good for about 45 pips, but it took a while to develop. Forex is not as fast as commodities like gold or silver, or indices like S&P or NASDAQ or Dow Jones, but Forex is a very good pair if you're a beginner and you're learning. It's very technical. It's not as volatile, and it's good to learn. Okay. So let's just continue moving over here. Guys, this is our website, stocksniperstrading.com. If you guys want free blogs, there's a lot of good education we give out every single day, every other day. This was a newest one, price action and time frames. So that's what our webinar is going to be on tomorrow. It's going to be about the history of price action. If you want to read a little bit about price action, these are free blogs. They're good education. Like, you're going to learn a ton of stuff. Demand activity. We talk about liquidity zones and point of control areas. We talk about on every single live call. What's the difference between technical and fundamental analysis? Why you should know both of those. Static levels. Make sure you know this, because a lot of these levels that we identify in the markets are static, and they stay static and just depending on the volume, if it closes above or below. Okay, and education. Ahmed, I was talking about you. You were talking about like entries. There is a webinar over here. If I can figure out which one it was, this one, webinar 28, all types of entries. Teach you how to get those aggressive, you're looking for aggressive trades, like maybe trading the wick. So there's a time and place how to identify those. Look for your wick rejections in your supply demand zones, but obviously practice. It takes a lot of practice. Yahoo Finance, guys, lots of news today. Dow Jones jumps 300 points and bounced back to new record. Okay, so we were just talking in the Discord about NASDAQ and Dow Jones, and everyone's saying Dow is shitty, the way how it's weighted, and it doesn't. I don't care. Like, the candles are for scalping. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Whether you, the way how it's weighted and this and that, I don't care. When you look at Dow Jones and you can get a 1 minute candle that's 20, 30 pips, you're going to fall in love with this thing for scalping. But anyways, why is Dow moving and kind of NASDAQ? So if you guys remember, in the months of August, early August, the chips, the tech sector took a little bit of a hit. Like, if you remember when NVIDIA made the all-time high at $140, it dropped all the way down to low 90s. Okay, that was an opportunity of, I'm going to say, an opportunity of a lifetime to get back into NVIDIA. When it broke that psychological 100 level and dropped to $92 a share, that was a great opportunity to start a position. I know some of you guys did, and congratulations. And it went from 90 back up to 120. It came back to 104, allowed again if you didn't get in. It gave another pullback at a higher low, and then from there we traded back up to 140, and now it's about 135 right now. So there was like, and a lot of the chips took a haircut, 20, 30, 40% haircut, but it was, and then markets kept moving. So, it was kind of like a small bearish bear market for the chips. But what happened with all of that liquidity? Like, while the chips were selling off, maybe it was a rotation of indices. Now we have financials and industrials are hot right now. So maybe a lot of that tech money moved into banks and moved into industrials. And if you don't know what industrials are, it's like a whole everything. It includes manufacturing, it includes transportation, airlines. We were talking about Delta Airlines, American Airlines had a report of their earnings, railroads, shipping companies. We talk about FedEx, logistics and freight services, construction and engineering, aerospace and defense, capital goods, utilities. And so it's good to increase your knowledge and learn more about how the money in the markets can move from one sector to another sector to another sector to one index to another index, and money just keeps moving around. So we got to get in a job of just following the money. And right now, a lot of it is in, you can see the bank reports. So it's in finance, and industrials are hot right now. Maybe now the tech sector has kind of had a slow, quiet consolidation and a little bear market, and it coiled up, and now it's ready to launch. So now what I'm thinking is a lot of the banks now might be a lot of that money might be moving out of finance and moving back into tech, and we might see another rally. We might see another rally in the tech sector coming very, very soon. So guys, watch your levels, because we're trading at all-time highs for NVIDIA, and it could continue to really push, or maybe there might be a little bit of a pullback and continue to coil up and get ready for its next run. But it's always, every single day, guys, pay attention to these things, whatever you're following. Okay. So let's just talk real quick here. Anything Amazon, Google make dueling nuclear bids as big tech race builds. That was 6 hours ago. This was earnings from yesterday. ASML earnings miss is in a disaster for the AI chip sector. So that's what the previous day, why the chips took a big hit was because of this. ASML was reporting. So that's why Nvidia the other day took a 5% hit, but kind of recovered a little bit back today. But it's going to remember TSM is reporting tonight at 2 a.m. Eastern. So that's Taiwan Semiconductor. So keep your eyes on that. What else we got over here? Not much, guys. S&P today 0.5%, Dow 0.8%. NASDAQ trailing behind at 0.3%. Russell 2000 mid caps, we're seeing a little movement of liquidity into the mid caps over here. And crude oil had another decent day of 0.5%. And gold made its move, but kind of flat. Top gainers today, look at this. So this is what we're going to do when we get into stock options and learn all about these other companies. Look at Wave Life Sciences up 74%. Like that's crazy, guys. Look at Oklo 42%. There's some names that how do we find these things, guys? If you're looking at Trump Media up 15%, okay, I'm sure some of you guys have heard of Donald Trump. He has his own media company here that's a publicly traded company, and it was up $4.20 over here, and up 15%. For every winner, there's going to be losers in the market. Okay, you can see ASML right here, down 6.4%, down $47 a share. Nvidia bounced back 3%, Intel, Trump Media, and all of these names. Okay. And guys, we have a free Telegram channel for you guys on YouTube. It's pinned at the top of the YouTube for you guys. So this is the blog right here that if you click on it, it's free, guys. Click on it and then you'll get enrolled in the daily blog with us. It's SST content over here. And be like this guy and you're going to learn everything. Why not learn this stuff? This stuff is very important. Okay, two candles. This is how it looks on a 1H. So if you got two 30-minute candles, you have a red candle and you got another 30-minute candle engulfing it. This is how it would look. It would be a bullish pin bar on the 1 hour. So make sure you kind of learn these things. Put the pieces of the puzzle together and it will make a lot of sense. These are the before and afters of our trade setups we send out to the group. This is our daily and weekly schedules that we post here, our YouTube videos for you guys, the trade setups that we take the trades on, everything that's going on in the live Zoom calls in live London and live New York. And shout out to Forex for filling in this week in New York. And you guys are catching pips with Forex. So it's awesome, guys. It's pinned at the top of the channel for you guys. Okay, so now, why are we here today? We're here because we've been working on 4-hour setups this week. Now, I'm going to ask you, we're on gold, XAUUSD. You guys remember this setup? I was looking for sells below 26.53. Did anybody take a sell below 26.53? And this is how the answer should be a unanimous no. The price did not even come close to 26.53. So if you're in a sell, I have no idea how you're in a sell. Okay. So what we saw was this big bullish 4-hour candle, Tuesday, 9 a.m., push all the way up. So you see how it closed above this red zone and push up. Again, did it come back down? No. And then we had another big bullish candle here and then break. Remember our all-time high. There's our all-time high, 2,685.50 cents. Look how close we came to hitting the all-time high. It might even, in fact, be a tweezer top high on the 4 hours, guys. It actually is. If I line up this previous all-time high wick and today's 9 a.m., Wall Street market open 4-hour candle, look at the tweezer top highs. Okay, so did you guys make note of that? What we're doing right now is I didn't take the sell. Okay, I was looking for a sell here, but the trade went away. Like it, so I'm not chasing it. I'm waiting now. But now what I do is at the end of the day, I go back and I review the 4-hour setup, and now I make adjustments. But I still walk through the volume to see what happened. I see that now the 4-hour candle not only made tweezer top highs, but now this might be a bigger double top in the all-time high supply zone. So remember this big red box? That's our all-time high supply zone that we figured out on the daily time frame. Okay, so if I draw, like, I just want to make you guys aware, like right here. Do you guys see this right here? Where we had this all-time high created September 26 at 5 a.m. 4-hour candle, 2685. And look at the next move we had coming right back up. We tapped right in there. Exactly. Tweezer top high, equal high. You know how this is psychological this is trading like the smaller time frames, the 1 minutes, the 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Remember what I always tell you. Candlesticks have all the same characteristics. So why should we not pay attention to this on a 4-hour? Okay. Do you guys understand what I'm saying, or am I just talking to myself right here? This is really, really important if you're a price action trader. I cannot stress how important this is. The market did not allow a new all-time high. The volume was there today. It could have just went up an extra 10, 20, or 30, or 40, or 50 cents. But the market did not allow another higher high. Psychologically speaking, this is huge, like for the sellers. So now let's follow what happened from there, okay? Now, what happened when it hit up there, it came red, 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 back down into here, and it came right back up and it closed right here. Now we're getting these little insignificant doji candles right now, but do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? This red candle that opened here and closed right here. It's got a big body on it. What I'm going to look at is 50% of this 4-hour candle inside the all-time high supply. Okay, so follow with me, guys. If you're updating your charts, update with me, or I'll update our charts for us, and then I will resubmit these to our 4-hour setup in the Discord. Okay, so do you see what I'm looking at right now? 50%. Like, I'm going to go from that body to that wick. Okay, it was already created in the market. There's no disputing that. Okay, this was already created. When we came back up green, that's it. Stopped right there and went back down. This is the 4-hour candle that's live right now. I know it's kind of like dead volume right now till we get into the futures market in the next 30 minutes. But you see that little kind of imbalance right here? Now what I do is stretch that zone into the future. And you see how it's representing kind of 50% of the daily supply. So I'm going to make it red. I know it's going to be a red box within a red box, but this is 4-hour structure. So now look at what we have developed over here. We've got this big push that came out, tweezer top high, all-time high. The all-time high was a tweezer top high. Am I the only one that's excited about this, or oh man, I don't know how to explain it. I think a lot of you guys don't understand how important that is in the market, and that's why you guys aren't as excited as me. But that's a clue. That's a clue that maybe the market is going to shift to the downside. When, I don't know. It all depends on the volume. Maybe Ron is incorrect. Maybe it will keep pushing for an all-time high. But we got to now see how things develop. Okay, it's getting interesting now. Now we're at our neckline. It's kind of consolidating here. So what happens now if we actually get now patterns formed up here? So this is one big push. Okay, tweezer top high from the previous all-time high right there. Okay, so this is like a big double top. Okay, and then now we got a little pattern forming inside the bigger move. So we came up, we came back down. See how it's kind of just consolidating down in here? What happens if we come back up? Okay, it comes back up, but we got this red supply. This is like a lower high supply. If it comes in here and they push it back down, that's that lower high. They've lowered the offers down into here, and maybe they'll absorb those buyers coming up and then they push them down. Okay, that could be one move, pay attention to that. It might be a lower high right in there in that red box, what I just made right now. But Ron could be wrong, and it could come up again back up here and then test these all-time highs, tweezer top highs. Maybe it comes up a little higher and then they lower it right there, like around 2682, and then it pushes down. But what I'm trying to say is we might see a double top M pattern, a lower high, and then if it breaks, this could be where gold could sell back down. Now I'm going to reposition. I'm going to still go with the bearish bias. I'm hesitant to buy an all-time high that got equally rejected the second time it got up there. Now I might think that bears might be accumulating to push this thing down, depending on the US news that we have tomorrow. It's a big news day. So if the dollar, if good things come out and the dollar starts to strengthen, then this setup could play out and where we could see gold sell. Now, do you see from yesterday's call, I was looking for a sell below here. Okay, nothing developed. It went green, so nothing triggered. Now, I could still look for a sell at 26.53, but we're nowhere near. We're at 26.73 right now where I'm talking. But I'm just going to get rid of this because now we're going to look for a new sell setup. So this is inactive, invalid. Nothing even tapped in here to even suggest look for a sell. So now I have to get rid of this and now look for a new zone. Okay. What I'm looking for now is, do you remember the purple line that we put on our charts yesterday? This was from over here Tuesday. That was our weekly high when it came up here, and then we got into the markets and we were looking. So in fact, we had green volume close above the weekly high, create that new the weekly high, but it's also very interesting, tweezer top high, all-time high, and they pushed it back down red. It came into that weekly purple line, broke a little bit, but couldn't break these bodies. There's the body and the body holding, and then it came right back up and we're closing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for sells below this purple line, 2668, 2669 area. Okay, so let me set this up for you again. I'm going to look for sells, swing trade sells on the 4 hour, not a short position below this purple line. Okay, going forward. Sorry, short position. Okay, do you guys understand what I'm looking for? I'm looking for 4 hour volume to not just do this impulse where it came down red, red, red and go back up and close up there. I'm looking for a 4 hour volume to close below this purple line. Okay, and then it might come back up and then they push it back down. But what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for this. It's already made its move to the all-time high again. Tweezer top high, so that's very significant for price action trader, and came back down. But maybe it comes back up, like I said, either in this red box or a little higher there. But anyways, if it comes down, back down, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for volume to close there, and then maybe a pull, and then start to drop. Okay, and where could we drop down to? We could drop down to this green box. That's where initially I was looking for a sell below there. So if we're coming down with momentum, then it may bounce a little bit, but then may be a lower high. We look at the structure of the big red body candle coming down. We figure out where 50% of it is, and maybe it comes back down, and maybe we're continuing to drop down to the weekly low, and they're really gonna pull back gold a little bit. So look at how they're creating it. You know, when everything is being created, like sometimes when I see this set up on the 5 minutes, I could be getting, I'm looking for like a 5 minute sell, but remember these are 4 hours, so it takes days to develop. But the patient can get paid. Okay, remember, if you're being impatient, you might make a couple mistakes. Okay, so do you guys understand my analogy now? Why I'm looking for a sell? And then if it triggers and I go into the sell, then the next question is, well, where do you place your stop loss? Okay, so if I'm looking to sell here 2669, then I look at structure. Okay, I don't just always just put it at the rate above the all-time high. Okay, because I also watch structure. What happens if the 4-hour candle does this? It came up, back down, come up, and then it gets rejected in that red box, and it starts going down. And then I go into my sell, but do I need to give it that much stop loss above the all-time high? You can if you want, as long as you're managing your risk. But sometimes, being a sniper is also not just nailing entries and taking profit at suggested areas, but it's also how you establish your stop loss can make you a sniper. So what about that? Like if it comes up here and it gets rejected, I can now place my stop loss above this supply zone. And you see how I decrease my risk from all the way up there. The bigger the stop loss is, you're giving it more room to breathe. But if you want to get a little bit more tighter with your risk management, then you've established this 4-hour zone right here. If they're lowering it, you're still protected above a supply area, all depending on how, if it trades in here and goes back down. Okay, everything changes with every single candlestick. So that's what. And if you're doing that, you're getting like a 1 to 2 almost on your money. But then if you keep it above the all-time high, like right there, you're getting a little bit over a 1 to 1 on your money. Okay, so if you're looking for that better risk to reward, obviously you got to use a smaller stop loss. But you might also, if you place it pretty tight, you might get stopped out, and then the trade goes in your direction. So you gotta test it with experience. Okay, it takes time, it takes practice. But what I'll do is I'll keep it at the all-time high supply until I find out what's going on in here. We haven't even traded into this red box yet again. So it's green right now, but I'm going to kind of follow this direction of these arrows here. Okay, and I could move it up and get into a sell right there at 26.73. But I want to keep it right there at that critical purple line. Okay, so I'm looking at 26.69. Okay, guys, is that clear? My bias is to sell gold. If we look overall how it looks on the 4-hour, look at the setup like overall here. Big bullish move to the first all-time high, 26.85. Then we retraced all the way down here where it formed a double bottom, one bottom, two bottom at this heavier, bigger daily demand area, 2600, and the buyers pushed it all the way right back up again where we kissed that tweezer top high right there. So this is what the kind of path I'm looking for. I'm looking for this to start selling back down and trickle down into here. If gold starts running and it turns into come test the weekly low and then come down in there, that would be a fantastic swing sell setup, and we're looking to get in just below here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to buy the all-time high. It's really risky because the way how we got rejected 2 times already now, and it was a tweezer top high. So that's why I'm avoiding buying the all-time high. Maybe I might switch my perspective next week, depending if volume can continue to push and close, and then I can make this big red all-time high zone green, and maybe catch that pullback. I might be buying if it comes back into this box, like right there, 26.75. That might be a good buying opportunity to take it 2700 plus and go up there. But I'm going to stick with sell side bias. I like this double top. We got the tweezer top highs. We can check how the let's just do the SST scanner right here. Check what our overbought conditions are. So right here, gold. On the daily, we're approaching 65 on RSI, and the 4H 63 on RSI. So it is getting a little bit overbought up there. I'd like to see maybe if they can push it a little higher in here and then reject them right there and then bring it down. So yeah, I'm going to stick with sell side bias. Is there any questions on that, guys? And I'll send the charts back out to you guys, and I'll in Discord too, and also you guys right now in Zoom. Okay, I'll give you guys a link. If you guys just joined us, welcome. Thanks for joining. Welcome, guys. Oh, Noor, welcome. Thanks for joining. Tim, um, can you look at the USD JPY sell, please? Yeah, I can get to it if we have time. Do you mean like to do a top-down analysis for our sell setup on USD JPY, or? Right, we may be taking the elevator down this week or next week. Yeah, it looks like it's developing, but it's not there yet. It's not there yet. So we have to be patient. We got to be patient and wait for it because the drop could be significant, guys. Yeah, yes, we might miss out on a few trades here and there, but the bigger reward might be coming to those that wait. You want me to do, Tim, sorry, do you want me to do a full top-down analysis of USD JPY on the higher time frame, bring it down to the 4 hour? Is that what? Yeah, okay, no worries. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so are we good with gold, guys? So everyone on YouTube, are we okay with gold? Do you guys understand now how I adjusted my charts due to most recent price action on the 4 hours, how they were trading today? Okay. Welcome, Three Paws. Thank you for joining. You learn every time you watch us. Awesome, guys. We're gonna learn every single day, guys. As long as you guys are here, we're gonna be learning something. Okay. Well, welcome, No Drip. Welcome. Okay, so let's continue to move over to Nasdaq. Okay. Remember we were looking at Nasdaq chart. Now look at Nasdaq. Okay. So what happened with Nasdaq? Okay. So remember what we were looking for. I'm still looking for the sell. Nothing got activated down here unless you took an impulse. Okay. I didn't take impulse. I told you guys I'm waiting for 4-hour volume to close. I might be getting it very soon. Another hour and 10 minutes. This 4-hour body is coming down. Okay. So Nasdaq, guys. Let's now think about Nasdaq. Tech. What's going on with tech? TSM is reporting at 2 a.m. Eastern. They've already pushed down with that big lower low today this morning at 9 a.m. but then it came right back up and it pushed back up, but they reject. So this consolidated box that I had yesterday, we're still basically, the volume is still trading in here. After all of this shit that happened today, the volume is still right in this box. It's still representing the head and shoulder pattern, this pattern that we were talking about yesterday. This is the left shoulder. That's the head that broke out, the weekly high up there, and then it came back down. And yes, it did break, but we had no follow through with the red volume. Okay, but look at where we are. We're still in this consolidated right shoulder, and I'm still looking for that move. Remember what I also said. If you want to get in on this, as the 4-hour you can go down to the 1 hour, but you can see it was just right there. It was 9 a.m. It was just a big push down and then it came right back up. If you look at the 30 minutes, okay, it was just the big drop and it came right back up. And look at how choppy it was on the 30 minutes. Red, green, red, green. Like it's very difficult to trade that. No kind of direction. Even the 50-minute candles. The 50-minute candle broke, came down and right back up. So sometimes guys, when I go to the lower time frames, that's why I pip and dip. Because sometimes the markets, as quickly as they come down, they can go right back up. This is how it looks on the 5 minutes. This was 9:30. You see the 5-minute candle closed below. That's why sometimes when I'm following a 4-hour candle, those impulse wicks on the 4-hour, I'm scalping these on the 5 minutes. And you see how clearly you can see it on the 5 minutes. That bearish candle closed below the entry area. And look how it came and retested. And then you got that big drop. Just a candle like that. If you're looking to scalp for aggressive entries, that's as aggressive as it gets. That candle alone is 35 pips. And this is Nasdaq. Nasdaq, if this was a US 30 candle, this is 50, 60 pip candle. Okay. And then look at, again, it came up green, 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 green on the 5 minutes. So if you didn't take your 30, 40 pips out, look at what the market does. It comes all the way back up to where you kind of entered. Maybe your break even is there. And then it goes all the way back down. And then look how quickly it comes all the way back up. Okay. But we're not here for 5 minutes. We're here to focus on the higher time frames. But I want to show you guys, if you do look to take setups on the smaller time frame. You can still watch what the 4-hour candles are doing. Like this candle right now, you see the big 4-hour candle that's coming down on Nasdaq right here. If it starts to break here, I don't know where this 4-hour candle will close until an hour and 7 minutes, in 67 minutes. I can go down to the 5 minutes and watch this now on the 5 minutes and look for entries. Just like here it is. If a 5-minute candle pushes down with that 4-hour volume, if it closes below here, again, I'm using this yellow line, the daily point of interest, that static area, looking for maybe sells to come down into there. Just like you could see how you could use this yellow line all day today on the 5 minutes. This is what I mean, guys. When you establish a zone and you figure it out, or a point of interest, see the yellow line, how it played out? There's the 5-minute body that closed exactly at Wall Street at 9:30, and you could have got your pips and dipped out of the market and been done for the day in 15 minutes if you played this properly. You can see, again, how it's breaking down, looking for positions below the yellow line. You can look for buys above, but the market was really choppy today. Like it was just tough to trade. Nasdaq, I'm saying Nasdaq in particular, like this is not easy. But if you stay patient with it, you see the volume closing above the yellow line. 50% of this green candle, it came back, pulled back right back into it. You could have bought, stop loss below there, take it back up. You could have looked for possible sell entries below it, but it was a choppy day. It wasn't easy to trade all this messy stuff. That's why if you can't handle all of that choppiness, stay on the higher time frames. Look at the 4-hour candles. They kind of clean up everything. Yeah, it broke, but when we wait for the 4-hour candle to close, it closed inside the consolidated box. Again, this one came up bullish up there, came back down, and closed spin top with red volume in the box. Now we opened ignited red, this 4-hour candle. We might get our first 4-hour candle that might close with volume below here. Look at the big wick there, a big wick there, impulse wick there, impulse wick there. We have not had 4-hour volume close red below the zone for quite some time. So if we get it, guys, I'm still looking for this same sell setup. I'm not changing this one. Gold I adjusted because it moved away from us, but this one is still playing out. So I'm looking for sells below 20,163 below here, okay? And same setup, nothing's changing. But now that I review it, I can see that they made a lower low. They took it below the weekly low. So remember, the wick does the damage, but the body tells the story. We haven't had any closing volume. Okay, it could be coming soon in the next hour. Okay, so I'm going to place an alert here because I might get in and take the 4-hour sell coming up very, very soon. It might be tonight. If I get 4-hour volume close below there, then I wait for a pullback and I enter. So I don't need to wait for Wall Street tomorrow. I can maybe get in tonight. And remember, NASDAQ TSM Semiconductors is reporting at 2 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so that could affect the way how things move. So maybe, 2 a.m., it's getting close. I got to be careful. Okay, but I could also enter on a smaller position, and then maybe after TSM reports early in pre-market New York, I can take a look at what's going on and maybe continue selling with it. But that's my level. I'm not changing it, guys. I'm still going with the bearish drop. I know some of you guys hate it because you guys are all perma bulls on NASDAQ, but look at the pattern here. Okay, where we hit up in here, that's the big head. Look at the days, guys. Remember Monday. Remember U.S. banks were closed on Monday and the stock market was open. That's where it made this big bullish move. Then it kind of consolidated. And then Tuesday, the big banks, U.S. banks were back in business and they sold everything down. And look at where it's consolidating right here and could be getting that drop. It doesn't get any better than a head and shoulder pattern like this. See how the volume is kind of consolidating? 50% in the right shoulder. So it's kind of real coiled. It wants to explode. This volume wants to explode. It could also explode to the upside. Like it could come back green up here and close and then test the weekly all-time high and move up here. It could definitely, like how gold did, but it's just the way how this thing is continuing to push down, push down, push down. That big red body is still pushing the market down. I'm looking for volume close below here and push down. Okay, so I gave you guys trading view chart of gold. You guys know where I stand right now on NASDAQ and gold. Are we clear on that, everybody? Is there anything that you guys are missing? Do you guys understand? Okay, gold, I spoke about it right here, XAUUSD. I'm looking for a sell below the purple line. Okay, 2669, 2670. Okay, we're not going to get nitpicky with a couple cents here. 2669, 2670. Sells below there on the 4 hour, looking for volume to close and push down. That's gold. Also NASDAQ, looking for sells below this yellow daily point of interest. Okay, 4 hour volume close, look for your retest and drop. Okay, and it's 8 o'clock, guys. So I'm going to do one more chart for Tim. USD JPY 4 hour. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so Tim, this is for you, USD JPY. But I'm gonna go to the daily. Okay, we're gonna do a little top-down analysis, see how everything is moving. Let's just take a look at it. Okay, so this is USD JPY, guys. This is dollar yen. This is now Forex. Okay, so we've done gold, commodity, we've done NASDAQ, which is index, and now we're moving to Forex. This is USD JPY, so it trades completely different than those other securities we already looked at. This thing moves too. It's affected by Japanese news and American news over here. Let's take a look at how it's been moving. So I can see a big high up here, 161.95. If I look on the weekly, monthly, we can see over here, okay, is it similar to like a tweezer top high almost from that previous high? This is kind of what I'm looking for gold. You know, how it kind of came in there, where it came up, they dropped it, came back in, and then now they're pushing it down. When was the last time it traded in here? 1990. Tony, 1990. Okay, this was the last time the dollar yen was $1.59, $1.60. 1990, guys. I was 8 years old. Okay, so that's a static level. If some of you guys, if I had this static level from when I was 8 years old and I stretched it into the future all the way into 2024, I maybe would have got myself positioned for a nice sell, and that's patiently waiting. Waiting for about 30 years, but hey, that's price action. Okay, good things come to those that wait. Okay, so let's just do some monthly analysis just to get some levels. Okay, look at like here. There's a little zone on the monthly. We're trading right into it at a 150. It's coming in there. I'm just going to show you guys how you can look for some key monthly zones. I know we're not, but look at that monthly area of demand. When it comes down to 139, 140, see there's your candle that closed above, came back down, back up, pushed, came back down. Look how it held right here. The 140 came back up, made that new high, came back down. NASDAQ, we're getting 4H crossing our line. NASDAQ could be getting ready, guys. Very, very soon. It's going to close in another hour. And then you see how it came back down, and now we're moving back up here. So when you're looking for a monthly area, if we found it, identify it, bring it into the future. Let's bring it into 2030. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about this zone again if it comes back in there. Is there an area of resistance? Yes, there is. That wick where it got rejected, look at those two bodies, and right there. You see, if I make it red now, we're trading right into this red zone, but it's coming with some powerful monthly volume that could maybe potentially break through here and drive up to 50% of that red candle to 155, 156, Tim. But let's see if that monthly candle can break. If it can close, flip this monthly zone to demand, and we could be pushing all the way up there. It might get rejected and come back down. What I would be looking at, Tim, right now, we're already halfway through the month. I would already be drawing, cut this big monthly candle, the green volume, in half right there. Maybe go to those two bodies, like right around here, and 1 146 holding. If it comes back down red, 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 look for buyers to pick up and bring it up. If you get a pullback, if it comes down red, look for support right here before it comes down into here. Okay, so this is big, like top down from the monthly. But just to give you a perspective of how this thing is trading, but what I do is go into the daily. So let's figure out for maybe some weekly swing trade. There is a big sell-off. When did it happen? Double top, came up right here, July 3 of this year, came back down, came up, double top, July 10, and they dropped it since then. Okay, can we see any areas on the daily that are like sticking out to us? Yes, we can. Number one area I like to see is I want to give this thing some room to breathe maybe. Okay, so what I'm seeing is over here where this was red resistance, it turned to support right there. Okay, so red resistance, it turned to support and it went back up. So if I stick with this zone, bring it and see how price action traded. There's a big bearish candle that traded below it, so still red, and then you see how it came up green right into the red box and they pushed it back down. So if I stay with this same box and I bring it into the future, we're getting there. Okay, so that, Tim, is my big upper supply. Do we have any areas of demand right now? Yeah, there is. We can see right here. See these double bottoms, Tim, here? One bottom, two bottom. Let's make it green. Okay, see one bottom, came back up to that resistance, red box, came back down to the green box, back up, closing, continue to push up. So if we stick with this green box, bring it into the future, now you can see how we got some green volume back above that green box, retesting it, holding it. So let's stretch that into the future. Okay, now so we're kind of, if we consolidate from our zones, from this zone to that zone, this is where we're consolidating right now. Okay, if we're kind of just looking at the overall volume, but you can see it's kind of coiling up a little higher, like right in there. So it's making a bullish flag right underneath that supply. So it could be getting ready to maybe push through here, or it's going to sell back down into here. Let's take a look at one more key area, maybe a little bit above us. If it attempts to break out of here, I would be looking for maybe 155. Okay, so one more key area is right here. Held green right there. Bring it across. I can see when it turned red right there. Okay, remember, I'm looking at the past price action. I'm looking at the past how it was trading. Okay, this is how I'm identifying my zones and looking for what's going on in the future. So right now, what are we in? We're in this trend that's pushing, ascending up. Okay, if we look at this daily kind of, we're in this parallel channel. Okay, it came up, back down, came up, back down, came up, back down. Are we going to come back up? Okay, what is your bias, Tim, on this? Are you looking for buys or are you looking for sells? And then I'm going to go into the 4 hour. Okay, and also let's get some key point of interest on the daily. Since we're on the daily, let's look for some key point of interest. You had to sell. Oh, we had to sell. Oh, are you talking about the like our the trade setup from SST, or are you talking about your own analysis here? Oh, the SST signal. Okay, you should have said that from the beginning. Okay, guys, but let's just continue doing this. So what I'm looking at is there was a candle that closed there, candle that opened here, candle that closed there, candle that went down there. So it's resistance. Is it acting as support? Currently, if we stay above this yellow line, 149.30, it could continue to act as daily support. So I'm looking here to rate this as a daily point of interest. Whoops, sorry. Daily point of interest of support. Price action is still above here. Okay. Do we have another critical daily area? Yeah, right around here. See where we had all of these wicks? Like 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3 wicks, 4 wicks, 5 wicks. And then you see how then the yellow line started to play out with the wicks here, a wick here, and a wick here. And look at the number, 147.947. So if I just bring it up to that psychological 148, it's right there, 148. And then you see how history played out. It came up there, went back down, came up there, back down. You had this big crazy candle that closed above. There was probably news on that day, and then they bearish engulfed it and brought it right back down. Now we have the green body candle October 4 close above there and still holding above 50% of the volume. Yes, it did come down, but again, no follow through on the candle, still holding above there. So this will be my next daily point of interest on the daily. So my next daily POI support. Okay. And now we're kind of just consolidating right here. The volume is right here, just consolidating. Real tight. Okay. So let's look at that SST. If I see the one that you're talking about over here, was it USD JPY? Sell. Okay, right over here. 149.57. Let's take a look. 149.57. 149.57. 149. I'm going to just draw a line at 149.57 just so we can see where it is. Okay, so right there. Let me just make this a red line. Okay, so looking for a sell right here, Tim. What I would be doing is looking for more below here on the 4 hour. I would be looking around to break here. Yeah, if you enter right now, you could, it is coming down. It could be like a double top in itself with these 4 candles where it came up, back down, coming up, and then now it's coming back down. So yes, you could definitely go in for a sell right now, but I would wait for red volume to break this trend line, close below this point of interest, like right here, break. There's your M, break. We break the structure, maybe close below there. It pulls back up to here, and then we take the sell. Okay, so I'll go with this one, Tim. I like this. Thanks for bringing this one up for everybody. Guys, let's take a look for a potential 4-hour setup to sell. I like how we have a ton of volume pushing down. It is slowly creeping its way back up, but maybe it's gonna push right back down. Okay, so let's set this up, guys. I'm gonna put an alert right here. Let's place an alert. Remember, 4 hour. Okay, so this is 4 hour. I don't want just like an impulse. Unless I go down to 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute, that's your business. Remember that, guys. But if we're focused on a 4-hour candle, we're looking for follow through, 4-hour volume close, and then we're looking for that retest and to get in on that pullback. Okay, so I will be looking for a sell on USD JPY below here, right below the yellow line, right here. Point of interest of support. Basically 149.30, 149.29, 28. Like when we're looking for a bigger play, we're not going to get too picky on 1 pip or 2 pips. Okay, so just ballpark area 149.30. Okay, 149.30. And again, the stop loss now. Like if I get in there look at, there's already some structure being created here. I could go also with a really tight stop loss and go right there if I want. Okay, right just below 149 exactly. You're above that, below the structure. But if you want to give it room to breathe, remember, we looked previously how this structure was being created back a few months ago. Okay, but what would be the reward? I'd like it to come down red and test this daily point of interest, and maybe if we can continue with this red volume, break through here and drop down to 50% of our green box down in here. I'd like that nice sell setup on USD JPY. We do have some news this week with the yen and the US dollar. So what I'm essentially looking for is I'm looking for red volume to push, break, close below here. Like there's those tweezer bottom 4-hour wicks, maybe like right there. Then it comes back up green, and then going for the sell and drop it down to here. Maybe we can break or bounces a little bit here like it did on this wick, this wick, this wick. Maybe come down in here. There's a bounce. But then with this red volume that's coming down, it could be a big red bar, and then we look where's 50% of it, or we look where structure is created. Maybe it pulls back into about 50% of that big red bar somewhere around here, and then the next redistribution of all that red volume trades down into our green box. Okay, so definitely let's look for a possible sell setup. So they're all sell setups. Gold is a sell setup, Nasdaq is a sell setup, and USD JPY is also a sell setup. So they're all sell setups. Let me share this chart with you guys in Zoom. Okay, so Ron is a bear this week for the time being. Okay, and let's see how this plays out. Okay, so yeah, nice one. So we got a Forex pair, we got a commodity, and an index. Okay, guys, do you guys understand what we're looking for here? And be careful on impulse moves. Like here, this was a red candle that came all the way down and went back up and closed right there. It did come down red, 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 but kind of like, see those equal bottom lows where they kind of held it and then pushed it back up bullish. Okay, so that's USD JPY. Tim, pay attention to this area, 149.30 area. I know that SST, we gave the signal up here, and it's already dropping a little bit. So, you know, but this is where the major structural area is on the 4-hour. Again, that setup that came out 6 p.m. today. Okay. But we'll see as we move into the later Tokyo session. Maybe we get that drop. It would be nice if we get it. Yeah, so maybe we can bank some pips on this setup. Gold, guys. Okay, so you guys know what I'm looking for gold. Nasdaq. Okay, so Nasdaq is breaking down right now as we're speaking. The 4-hour candle. Sorry, let's go to 4H. Okay, so this 4-hour candle with this particular broker, Oanda, maybe you guys are on another one, it's going to close in 45 minutes. So right now it's breaking down. If you look at it like kind of how it looks on the 5 minutes, this is how if you want an aggressive scalp, this is what I'm talking about. This is an aggressive scalp. You had the red 5-minute candle open, test 50% of that volume. Look at the wick, guys, and it came down red, 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 close below structure, and then this is below our daily point of interest. See, the daily point of interest is now representing 50% of that bearish candle, and it came up and dropped. There's no wick on that candle, so there's your that's your aggressive entry. Ahmed, where are you? Disappointed is your name. This is what you're looking for an aggressive. You said, I want to learn aggressive scalping. That's as aggressive as it gets. Right here, if you want to just pip and dip and grab a few pips, and look at what time they did it at 8:05. So the futures market just opened up at 8. It came down red, 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 bounced back up, and then they confirmed it at 8:05 with a 5-minute red body close below. This is where we're looking for the 4-hour sell right here at this area, 20,167, 163 right here, and look how it's pushing down. If you're looking for a quick scalp, like right there on those two bodies, that's 20, almost 25 pips, 20 to 25 pips, where you could get in just as the futures market opens up. but we're following that 4-hour candle. But you see how you can kind of develop your mindset to get in a scalp sell? Look at how it's kind of coming down on the 4-hour. It opened, ignited this 4-hour candle at 5 p.m. and it started to push. So yes, the 4-hour candle impulsively broke down, but as a scalper on the lower time frames, you can definitely look to find your entry with precision. But you have to have the correct mindset. You see where it just traded down into? It traded right into where there's 5-minute structure in the market right here. So every single time frame has structure. Right there was support. Right there was support. That's where the Nasdaq bottomed out. 1 time, 2 time. And look, if you stretch it, it kind of came almost right into the green box and got that wick coming right back up. So yes, it did initially break, but if you did your zone to zone and you look to the left, I'm sure that you would have identified that. That's why sometimes when you're scalping, you can't get too greedy. If you get 10, 15, 20, 25 pips, pip and dip out of the market, especially if it's trading in a specific zone on that time frame that you're trading. And don't worry about the woulda, shoulda, couldas, or Ron, it could have continued to drop, or it could have done this, it would have done that. I ask you, did you secure some money? And if you say yes, then that's it. End of conversation. What else do we gotta what do we gotta talk about? If you've secured money, is that not why we're trading? So look at, if you don't secure money, it can come and bite you right back in the ass. It can come all the way right back up, and then you just piss away 20, 25 pips. If you're a scalper and that's what you're looking for, think about it. One scalp is average of 15, 20 pips. Look for 2 or 3 A+ scalps a day, and you can hit your daily goal and you're out of the markets. Because 90% of the time it will retrace back and hit your break even or come after your stop loss. I've learned over the years, guys, I left too much money on the table waiting for these things, a scalp to turn into 50 pips, 100 pips, 200 pips, and to watch everything just come back and hit my break even and waste all that time in the markets and have nothing to show for it. I went through this phase for years. That's why I tell you, guys, I trade different. I trade very robotic. I trade pip and dip style on the lower time frames. I don't care about woulda, shoulda, couldas. I can tell you stories of all kinds of stories. You guys can share stories with me about where you bought this security and where it could have been. But guys, those are all just, we can sit by the campfire, we can smoke a joint, we can just talk about our stories. Did you when the markets are open and they're live, are you securing money? That's the main objective of trading. It's not to have stories to share at the dinner table with your friends and family about, I could have done this, I could have done that. Everybody has those stories. But the stories that are meaningful to you are you securing money? Okay. And you see the 4-hour candle broke, but now it's got a wick coming back up. Okay. So this 4-hour candle still hasn't closed. We got 39 more minutes to go. Will it close with that red volume below there? Maybe this is where we're going to initiate our 4-hour sell. It's right at our zone. I'm waiting for this candle to close. I might initiate tonight. I might get in there. Okay. And then I'll let this thing play out going into London and New York. And hopefully maybe tomorrow when we get back on the call, Nasdaq is sinking down in here. Remember, we have TSM tonight. Okay, a lot of you guys, if you're just joining the call right here, TSM will affect Nasdaq. It's right here, 2 a.m. Eastern. How many of you guys have seen a report at 2 a.m. Eastern? Why? Because this is Japanese time. This is Asian time. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, TSM, tonight, 2 a.m. That will affect the way how Nasdaq moves. This is tech related. This is your chips. Okay, pay attention to that, guys. Tomorrow, get back on the call quickly. If you guys can join us right away at 7 p.m., because what we'll do is we'll review for 15 minutes our 4-hour setups on gold, on Nasdaq, and on USD/JPY. Thanks to Tim, we'll check that one out as well. And then we're going to get into our webinar. Here it is. I've already created it. It's right here. History of price action. Please, guys, join, because if you want to learn about price action, let's learn about the history. So price action refers to the movement of an asset's price over time. time, and it serves as a crucial component in technical analysis used by traders and investors. So topics we're going to go over tomorrow is the conceptual foundation, the historical background of price action. Some of you guys don't know that it's been around since the 17th century. Price action trading evolution, we'll talk about key principles of price action trading, psychological aspects, modern developments in price action in practice, and challenges faced by price action traders. And then what overall is price action? We always talk about price action, but what exactly is it? So I want to make sure we get that out of the way, because we've got some snipers asking, Ron, I want an aggressive entry. How do I learn about aggressive entries? Well, let's learn all about price action. Then you're going to know exactly how to take a trade with an aggressive entry by learning price action. Okay, everything that we talk about every single day on these calls is all price action. They have different time frames. You see, we see 4-hour price action, and then I can show you a 5-minute price action. Look at how it's retraced all the way right back up. Okay, so if you didn't do anything, it retraced all the way right back up. If you want to look at it on the 1 minute, this is how it trades on the 1 minute. There's your 1 minute candle that closed below. You can enter a sell on any one of these 1 minute candles, place your stop loss above those 1 minute structure, and then as it pushes down, you get your pips and get out. You have to be very disciplined on 1 minutes, because these things can retrace really fast. You'll have a lot of break evens trading 1 minutes while you're learning. Okay. But guys, that's it for me. I have to go help my son with a math test. He needs my help, so I got to be there to help him as well. So please, guys, pay attention to your 4-hour charts going into New York, especially NASDAQ, this one right here. Because look, guys, we might get our first 4-hour candle. It pushed as soon as the futures market opened up, and it's coming right back up. Will the red volume come down? Again, also figure out where's about 50% of that red volume where it closes as well. So it's closing in 35 minutes. Think about this candle as if it's a 5-minute candle. It's coming down now. Okay, so let's say, for example, it closed right there. What I would be doing is I would be cutting this 4-hour candle in half, like right there. I would be cutting it in half just in case it comes back up green, right into 50%. I want to know where that body is. Okay, it might actually look, guys. Like I'm playing this out for you guys. It might actually close with red volume below here, and then or somewhere down here. Judge how big the wick is. It might come back down red, and close near the low. If it's a small pullback, you might have to enter this. It might not be all the way. If you're waiting up here, you might miss it. So it's developing, but allow this thing another 35 more minutes and watch this thing, because it is getting set up to initiate our 4-hour sell yet. But remember, wait for this body to close, because this could, in the next 35 minutes, it could flip and come all the way back up here, and then we're trading again in the box, and then it was a false signal on the 4-hour, because it's just, again, another impulse move coming right back up. That's why it's important to tell yourself, wait for a body to close. Otherwise, you're just trading on impulse. Every single trade you're taking is just on impulse. It's on intuition, and you're kind of guessing. Look for more confirmed setups with volume closing on all time frames, whatever time frame trader you are. If you're a 1 minute trader, you wait for 1 minute bodies to close. If you're a 5-minute trader, you wait for your 5s to close, unless you know how to trade them without closing. Okay, there is a way how to do that, and here at SST will teach you that way as well. But you have to know what you're doing. You can't be guessing when you're taking an impulse trade. Like, your mind has to be made up before you to even take the impulse trade, because it could go directly right into profit, and that's it. You got to learn how to execute and get out of a trade within minutes if you're micro scalping impulse moves. It's a different style of trading. I don't suggest it if you're a beginner. I would stay away from that. I would learn more higher time frame and get comfortable with higher time frames, and then start going down lower time frame. This is also everyone wants to learn 1 minute scalping. Don't just start off with 1 minute. Learn higher time frame. Learn how everything. Start off swing trading. Learn swing trading. Get comfortable with 4-hour setups. because then once you start bringing that down to the 1 minute, you're going to know what you're looking for. Okay, but you just got to execute a little faster. So start off with the 4 hour. Bring it down, get comfortable with the 1 hour. Some of you guys are trading the 15-minute candles. That's perfect. Focus on the 15 minutes. It cleans up a lot of the noise from the 5 and the 1 minutes, and 15 minutes are, you got to wait for a 15-minute candle close. So you get to see what's going on. You don't have to go directly right into the 1 minutes, because 1 minutes have a lot of noise. There's so much noise going on, and you really have to think fast. A lot of traders, it's just too overwhelming, especially if you're new to trading. I would wholeheartedly stay away from scalping 1, 3, 5 minute candles until you get some experience. If you're learning demo account, I can't stress the importance of that. I know I look like everyone's like, oh my god, a demo account, that word demo. Yes, it's very important. Check your ego at the door. At least you're not losing any of your money in your pocket. Okay, whether you got to use a demo account for a day, a week, or a month to learn how to trade, then that's what you're going to have to do. Who cares what people say if it's a demo account? You're not there to impress people. You're there to learn a skill. Okay, but treat it as if it's a real account. Treat that demo as if it's a real account. Don't just open up a demo and say, I got $10,000, I'm going to blow it all in one trade. Treat it as if you really deposited $10,000 of your hard-earned money in the markets, but it's a demo so you can learn. I can't tell you how valuable it is, and you'll you'll get ahead of a lot of other traders who are struggling, who are not using a demo account, because they're using their live account and they have no idea what they're doing. They're over leveraging, they're over trading, and they're revenge trading, and they're panicking because real emotions are playing because it's their real money, and they haven't learned the concepts of waiting for candles close, or they're trading impulse, and they're causing a disaster. And you're learning, and then when you're ready to go live with a real account with your real money, you're years ahead of these other traders who are doing it all the opposite way. Okay, so just check your ego at the door, guys. I don't know. I don't know why traders these days don't want to learn concepts and do it without getting emotionally involved. You know how hard it is to learn when you're learning how to do a strategy or how to trade the markets or how to learn, and you're doing it with a live account, and all you're doing is looking at your profit and your P&L. You're looking at your profits, you're looking at your losses. You're not even paying attention to price action anymore because you're so focused on whether you're making money or you're losing money. You're taking your eyes off of the most important thing is the price action. So sometimes to just take your eyes off of your profit and loss, just do it with a demo account so you don't get emotionally involved. Just learn how to take market execution or pending order, how to place them in the markets. You'll learn a lot more, guys. I'm trying to save you time. I know a lot of you guys don't listen to us. You do your own thing, but that's fine. But take some advice from me. I've been doing this for quite some time, and the first years I had no idea what I was doing. I was one of those, exactly what I was talking about. I was one of those traders, and it took me years and a lot of financial losses, real money, until I figured, you got to check your ego and take this game serious. But guys, I'm going to leave it like that. See the 4-hour candle? Okay, yes, it did impulsively break, but it's coming right back up. So we don't have an official close. That's an impulse. It's going to close in 30 minutes now. The only thing it offered was that quick little 5-minute pip and dip, and you see now how it's coming right back up. So we got no volume. All it was that quick little scalp. And I'm telling you, you have the right mentality. If you went in a red cell there and you're looking for 50 pips, 100 pips, this, that, the market will do this and come right back up. It does it. Okay, so just you got to understand what you're looking for. Figure out, number one, what style of trader you are and what time frame you want to trade. That's the most important thing. Okay, guys, that's it for me. I got to take off. Thank you guys so much. Erica, have a good night. Tim, awesome. Thank you for the suggestion on USD JPY. That was awesome. Hopefully we see it break down in the next little bit. Keep your eye on it. Gwendolyn, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate all of you guys. Tomorrow, guys, exciting new webinar. Please join us 7 p.m. We'll review these setups real quickly, and then we'll get right into our webinar, okay? And Tomorrow is a very big day in the markets. A lot of news in around 8:30 a.m. Eastern. A lot of red folders. Don't forget, TSM reports at 2 a.m. pre-London tonight. That's that Taiwan semiconductor. Could affect the way how NASDAQ moves. And also we have Netflix tomorrow after hours. Pay attention to that as well. And trade careful tomorrow. Please, guys, practice proper risk management, okay? Thanks, guys. Have a great night. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. If you guys can hit the like button, we do appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tons of new education coming, so you don't want to miss out. Before I go, we want to continue to move forward now, okay? We don't want to just continue talking about what is a support area and what is a bullish engulfing. Like, we want to take it to the next level. So I'm leaving this up to you guys. You know, if you guys can't get caught up with all of the 1,000 videos we have on YouTube, and also, guys, on Zoom, all of the webinars that we have and all of the courses, because we're going to take it a step further now. So if you're left behind, it's unfortunate, but we need to move forward because we really want to start getting into the stock and options program, and so we've got to move forward. So I need you guys to do a little bit of homework yourselves, guys, and learn this stuff. It's there for you, but we can't always just lag behind. So I'm going to need you guys to do a little work. If you want to continue to learn, there's tons of education available on YouTube and on our website. There's a lot of education, okay? Because I don't want to slow down. I want to continue moving forward. And I assume that you guys are getting better at this. I assume you guys are getting good at this. You guys understand the basics. Like, I don't want to get on live calls and explain what a pip is. Like, these things are very basic. You need to know this. You got to do this work yourself. Like, as much as I want to help, we got to continue moving forward. Like the basics, guys. What is a pip? How to place like stop loss, things like that. You got to understand these things, okay? So that we can start to move forward as a group and everyone can continue learning. So we can get a little bit more intermediate with everybody and start getting more into advanced concepts and things like that, okay? So have a good night, guys. With that being said, continue studying. It's a lifelong process, guys. I'm still learning myself every day in the markets myself. I'm studying what's going on with the banks, and all the financial reports is pretty crazy on their revenue beats. So I'll be in the books digging and figuring out and doing my research as well. So as you guys do too. Okay. Have a good night, guys. Jermaine, thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.